Hey, it's me. This is the 6th time I'm filming this video. I'm really pissed at myself. I'm just not liking the way that I'm wording any of this. So I'm hoping I like this version of it. If you haven't seen any of my videos, hello, welcome. My name's Bryn. I make videos, kind of all over the place, but for the most part, they're transgender, transition related, or they're related to cystic fibrosis. If you haven't seen my videos, also, I am assigned male at birth and consider myself to be non-binary, which is a vague term that means I don't strictly identify with being male or female. Being assigned male at birth means when I was born, they said I was male because I was born with penis. But I don't resonate with that at all. So I must have accidentally deleted the part where I, introduced what the fuck I was talking about. I guess you see it in the title, but basically I just want to talk about, all my different experiences as, living as certain genders or whatever, and, how it changed the dynamic between me and other people of certain genders. Because, through each experience, or through each, portion of my life, I've just felt like there was a different dynamic based on the gender that I am. And maybe it's not true, but it's more just how I perceive things, so I wanted to share that. On top of that, if any of you are trans, specifically if you're non-binary and assigned male at birth, I'm, super curious, but just in general, or even if you're, gay and, you feel like once you came out as gay, things are different, whatever, but I'd like to hear your, experiences, because, I don't know, I'm just curious, things change so much for me. I'm curious, if other people feel the same, or if it, didn't really mean much, whatever, but, I don't know, I'm just curious. And also one more thing, my creative juices are lacking, so if any of you have any sort of content that you want me to make, please tell me, because every time I try to film a fucking video, I'm like, this is so boring. Not this video, but, in general, I'll try to come up with these topics, and then I'm like, literally no one's gonna want to fucking watch that, so, so if there's anything that you want to watch, let me know, and I'll probably make a video on it, because I don't have any ideas, but keep watching. So, growing up as a boy, well, I'll tell you a brief summary of my transition. I grew up as a boy, when I was 13 or 14, I came out as, a bisexual guy, and eventually later just started calling myself gay. And then when I was 17, I started questioning gender. When I was 18, I came out as a trans woman, and when I was 22, I think 21 or 22, I came out as non-binary. And I kind of just wanted to go through a play-by-play of, the way I felt interacting with men and women in each of those stages of life, and where I'm at now. And not necessarily men, but I guess, people my age that are either boys or girls, or male or female, whatever. So, growing up as a boy, I related to girls way better. I mean, I didn't really think about my gender all that much. I did say a lot that I wanted to be a girl. I would put a blanket on my head, run around the house, say I want to be a girl. I'd tuck my penis in between my legs and cross my legs. So, there were definitely things that, I thought about gender and shit, but, I didn't really think of it as, a possibility that I could be a girl. It was just, I wanted to be a girl. At that age, I didn't really have much dysphoria. I didn't think about my gender, but I spent, all my friends were girls. I had a few guy friends, but for the most part, my friends were girls, and that just felt normal to me. They just were cool. I just liked them. They were way more fun. The boys were all assholes. They were all, masculine, and, I didn't have a single masculine bone in my body, so I just really didn't relate. The guys that I were friends with weren't really masculine. They were just, I don't really remember the one of them. The one of them that I'm thinking of, we were friends till I was maybe 8 or 9, and our moms were best friends, but then they, broke up their friendship or whatever, so then I didn't really see him after that. But he and I were just like, oh my god, we were wild. We would do like most disgusting shit. Oh my god. We were like gross. And we would like also, we'd like bite each other. Like we would fight so bad. So much fun. But I never felt masculine, and I wouldn't say never, but growing up until puberty, I didn't feel like there was a reason to try and imitate maleness or masculinity. I just kind of did what I wanted, and then got shunned by my mother for it. Like, for example, when I was 10, she threw away all my stuffed animals but 2 of them, and I had an entire like bucket, like huge ass container, whatever, and she was just like, well, boys don't play with stuffed animals. Like, what? But I mean, that broke my heart then. Now I'm just kind of like, whatever, but I'm still like pissed about it because, oh, why the fuck did you do that? But like I said, I was always friends with girls. I remember getting sad that the girls, like, I would go to my friends' birthday parties and I would be the only guy, and then I would have to go home and the rest of the girls would sleep over. And I'm like, I don't get why I can't sleep over. And they're like, oh, like, it's not appropriate for boys and girls to be together. And I'm like, but I'm not gonna do anything. I don't even like girls. Like, that's kind of how I was feeling. My relationship with guys at that age, like I said, I didn't have a relationship. I do remember feeling so uncomfortable all the way through school. If they would split up the boys and the girls and I would be on the boys' side, I felt like I shouldn't be on the boys' side. Like, I felt so out of place, and like, I felt like I was being really judged by them too. Which I'm sure by some of them probably didn't even fucking notice, but that was just how I felt. So when I hit puberty, I came out as bisexual and eventually gay. When I came out that way, I felt worse around women. I felt better around guys. Even though most of my friends were women and whatever. Like, I'm trying to, like, remember that time, because it was 10 years ago. But when I came out as gay, I started getting treated way differently by women. Because I was, like, their little gay friend or whatever. And, like, all my friends, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them were, like, straight women, too. So, like, or girls, whatever. We were 14. They're not women. But whatever. They were, like, straight girls. And I don't know. Like, it just, like, the dynamic shifted because I was gay. I never really clicked with the male gay community. There was the guy that I kissed in front of everybody, and that's how I came out. There was another guy when I was like 16 that I like made out with or whatever, and then I had my first boyfriend when I was 16. But I didn't really click with gay guys. Like, I remember the guy when I was like 16, that, like, I just said that I, like, made out with, like, I mean, he's cool, whatever, but I remember, like, he was really involved with, like, the male gay community. Like, he had, like, not all of his friends, but most of his friends were either gay men or gay guys and lesbians or whatever, and he had a boyfriend. Like, I don't know, like, he was just very involved, and he seemed, like, to click, like, in that environment with other gay men or whatever, and like, I always felt kind of out of it. Like, I knew I was a gay guy because I was a guy who liked guys and not girls, so that makes me a fucking gay guy, but like, it still didn't really fit. And like, I remember always feeling better around gay girls. Like, if you watched my video, the Did HRT Change My Sexuality video, which I can link below if you want to watch it. But, I used to write stories and stories and stories, and they were all about lesbian girls that, like, dated and fell in love. It was, like, always a butch girl, and then a feminine girl, and, like, one of them, like, isn't supposed to be gay because, like, her mom didn't want her to be gay or something. Like, I don't know, like, random shit. But it was always, like, I always would rather write stories about either girls being gay or girls dressing up as boys. Like, that was always my fucking thing. Like, even, like, most of the times when I'd make those, the butch girl would, like, be so androgynous, and half the time she'd have, like, a gender-neutral name, or, like, even sometimes, like, just, like, a letter, you know, like, if her name's, like, Teresa, I don't know, fucking girl named Teresa, but, like, then she would just go by T, or, like, something like, you know, like that. And I don't know, like, and I would even draw these characters. I used to draw so much, so I was, like, so artistic. I would, not to, like, brag, I promise I'm not brag, but I used to take art classes and stuff, and, like, I would just, like, come up with these characters and, like, draw them, and it was always this butch girl and this feminine girl, and they were in love, and blah, blah, blah. And it always made sense to me when girls liked other girls, like, when I knew a girl that was bisexual, and she went from, like, she dated a girl, they broke up, and then she dated a boy, like, my mind always saw it as a downgrade. Like, there's no, like, there were these feelings that I had when I saw girls dating other girls, but I didn't know that they were a part of me, if that makes sense. But I always just thought it was so cool, and I, like, try to live vicariously through these lesbians that I knew. But yeah, to backtrack, I felt really weird around gay guys, and I felt really weird around straight girls. But I was like, but I'm gay because I'm a guy, and I literally watch gay porn, and I like guys, like, duh. But still, like, something didn't feel right, but I didn't really even know that. I just kind of thought eventually it would, or that I felt weird because I was raised religious, and, oh, I'm just feeling weird because my mom, you know, says I'm gonna go to hell and fucking burn for the rest of eternity. Maybe that's why I feel weird. And I think that was some of it, but I think a lot of it was, like, I still didn't actually identify with that. So, let me think. Also, when I was out as a gay guy, I did feel better around straight guys. Like, I felt a little bit, like, if they were, like, well, actually, hold on, let me think. If they were very masculine, I still felt weird because I felt like they expected me to be masculine. But, like, the regular straight guys that are just, like, chill and, like, don't play football and, like, don't talk about fucking women 24/7, I actually felt really good around them. Like, I just felt fine. Like, even my best friend for a few years was a guy, and it's a whole, I mean, he and I are fine, but, like, there were all these problems. My mom didn't like him and whatever because he was, like, okay with me being gay. So then when I was 18, I came out as a trans woman. And I'm trying to think, how did I feel around guys and girls? I felt really weird around girls, honestly. I remember so I came out, it was in October, and then I think later, like November or something, like soon after I came out, I visited my friend at college, and she had 3 roommates. They had, like, a big house thing, or maybe she only had 2 roommates. No, she had, God, I can't talk. It was her and 1 roommate, and then they were friends with each other 2 girls that were roommates. But then the following year, they all lived together. But I think that first year, she only lived with one of them. But it doesn't fucking matter. She was friends with these 3 girls, and I went there, and, like, they're all, like, very, like, I mean, like, stereotypically straight, like, regular girls that you would think about. And I remember feeling really out of place. Like, I felt like so weird because I felt like I had to be like them when I was around them. Like, don't get me wrong, that was a really fun weekend, and also, like, they were all really fucking awesome. Really fun, really just, like, woo, like, it was party central, it was great. But I do remember feeling all this pressure to, like, be like them, especially because, like, at that time, I'm out as a trans woman, so I'm like, well, I have to prove that, like, I'm a woman, and, like, I wasn't on hormones, my hair was short. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna upload it. It was in black and white. I had lipstick on, and my hair was, like, black and curly, and it was, like, I mean, I looked really fucking cute. But I do remember feeling out of place, and I remember that feeling, and I think it was because I was taking this label saying I'm a woman. Like, it doesn't matter if you're trans or not, like, if you're a woman, you're a woman. And I remember just feeling like, this isn't me. But I remember also being so confused because I'm like, but I'm not a man. And like, none of it made sense. And like, I don't know. I the more that I transitioned, the more chill I felt with guys. Like they were my buds, my bros. Like I didn't really have a lot of close guy friends, but I just felt more comfortable. I still feel more comfortable just like talking to a guy. And like it's like weird because like guys will message me to like try and flirt, and like I'm just like, no, like you're cool, like whatever. But like a lot of the times there's not a lot of feeling there. Or like attraction or like stuff like that. And it's been increasingly less and less over the years. But yeah, and when I came out as a trans woman, I was also working at a grocery store, and almost all the rest of the staff there were guys. And I felt really comfortable with that. Because I felt like, the thing is, I don't want people, like, I don't feel like a man or a woman. So to be around women and calling myself a woman felt really uncomfortable. But to be around men and calling myself a woman felt okay, because at least they are not seeing me as a man. Like, that was it. So, like, real quick, it's kind of weird because when I was out as a trans woman, like I said, it really made me so uncomfortable for women to be considering me a woman. I'm trying to think of it. So, I think it still bothers me if, like, straight women consider me a woman. But if they're, like, kind of gay, then, like, I'm perfectly fine with that. Like, when my girlfriend first came out of the closet or whatever, like, she used the term lesbian. That did not bother me at all. It doesn't bother me, like, like, now she tends to use the word partner when she talks about me, but, like, I'd be totally cool with her calling me her girlfriend. Like, I've talked about it. There's a decent chance that someday I will marry her because she's literally so great. And, like, when that happens, like, I would like her to call me her wife. Like, because in those types of situations, when it's talking about, like, my relationship with a woman, I really do feel like basically like a woman. Like a... like, not to get all into the sexuality thing, but, like, when I'm with a woman, I feel gay. I feel like a lesbian. I feel whatever. Even though, like, yes, I still have attraction to men and, like, all that kind of stuff and, like, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit. But, like, that's just, like, how I feel. And, like, specifically with her, like, if I were to, like, anytime that I were to have sex with a woman, I feel like I'm a woman. But, like, when it comes to me as a whole, I don't feel like that. But just when it comes to sex and, like, romance and stuff like that, like, I really feel that's basically how I feel. So it doesn't bother me. Sometimes I honestly, I actually prefer it. I think, at least as of right now. Who knows? Maybe that'll fucking change, just like everything fucking does. But as for now, like, I don't know. But yeah, okay. Anyways. So then, when I was out as a trans woman, I, like, got, like, a relatively new friend group or whatever, where, and like, all my friends in that group were lesbians, or at least girls dating girls at the time. And then I had one friend in that group who was a trans guy. It was weird because I felt really good around lesbians. Like, I felt really weird around the really butch ones because I felt the same way around the butch, more on the masculine side, lemonins, lesbians, because it wasn't like that I thought that they were men, but they were just more on the masculine side, and I felt like they just saw me as, like, this feminine gay guy, even though, like, I'm not a feminine gay guy. I don't really feel that way anymore. But anyway, so then when I came out as non-binary, I started dressing more androgynous. I would wear backwards hats. I would wear more, like t-shirts instead of, like, the strappy things. I don't fucking know what they're called. wore less makeup. Like, I don't know. I even started just moving to, like, I don't move very feminine. I move kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't fucking know. When I came out as non-binary, I did that while I was dating this one guy, and then we broke up. No, it was right after we broke up, actually. We broke up in October, and then in December I came out. And then in February, I started dating, who's now my best friend, but I started dating this guy that I met on Tinder. And I remember it was strange because, and I'm curious if anyone else feels this way, but it was strange because I have always been under the assumption that men will like me when I'm feminine, or because I'm feminine. So I had this very androgynous feel, and especially because he is straight. So that especially felt like it gave me very little wiggle room to figure out who I was. But him in general, I felt totally comfortable being whatever, and I was able to be whatever, and I feel like I've gotten closer because I'm able to be more androgynous and whatever, and he never stopped liking me because I was less feminine, which was, like, super sweet. Great guy. So I started feeling more, like, it's strange, I feel more comfortable around guys now. I mean, even though most of my friends are women, I need to get more guy I think I need more guy friends. But anyways, so I've been feeling more comfortable around guys, and then coming out as non-binary really helped with the way that I was feeling around women, because when I was out as a trans woman, I felt like I had to be like a woman. I had to look like a woman, I had to act like a woman, I had to dress like a woman, I had to just everything. I had to fucking be like a woman. And, like, granted, you can be anything and still be a woman. Like, women don't have to meet these certain criteria, but there's, you know, social pressure and stuff like that. Especially when you're trans, I feel like I feel like a cis woman, if she wants to cut her hair short, it's, like, fine, and people are like, oh, you're still a woman. But if a trans woman cuts her hair short, it's like, oh, so you're detransitioning and you're a boy again. Like, what the fuck? But, like, that's really, there's, like, these standards, and it's, like, so fucked up. But anyways, so I had been feeling better around guys, and then around girls, because I wasn't taking on this female identity, I actually feel like I relate to them a lot more now, and I feel a lot more, like, I feel very comfortable around anyone, really. Actually, I think I feel a little bit weird around straight girls, maybe. But I don't know, but that's so hard because literally all the girls I know are fucking gay. So, who the fuck knows? But, like, literally all of them, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I think this is it. So, I feel like when this is, like, the summary of my random rant about being whatever the fuck. Around men, I feel like I can be butch or I mean, I'm not masculine, but I can be androgynous around them without them expecting me to be like a man. So that got wiped away because I came out as non-binary. And then on top of that, around women, I feel like they're not expecting me to be super feminine, and so I don't, like, I feel like no matter who I'm around, I'm not the same as them. Unless they're also, like, very androgynous or whatever, which is nice. Like, I just feel like it sucks sometimes because I'm like, it'd be nice to, like, be around people that are just like me. But it's nice in the sense that, like, I don't feel connected to the male identity or the female identity. And now I don't feel like I'm pressured to be connected to either of those, if that makes sense. there are times, I will say this, because this has been happening a lot more. There are times that I feel connected to a female identity. Like, oh, I'm just like a butch woman type thing. And sometimes that feels okay. But sometimes it's like not okay. I think it's just because I'm very butch and then I kind of look like a woman, so sometimes I feel like I fit in that category. And maybe I do externally. Like, I'm curious to see how it would have played out had I been assigned female at birth. I'm really curious to see, like, how I would be now, you know? I think it would be the same, but I'm maybe not, I don't know. So, that's how I feel. Yeah, so I guess that's everything. But basically, to summarize, I feel like non-binary has given me a way to not feel pressured to meet societal expectations of being a man or a woman, and I feel like I connect with women and men better now because I'm not pressured to be like them. So, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed that and that wasn't just a waste of like 25 minutes, but who the fuck knows. But I'm gonna go, so